We're 2 minutes out.
Starting the streaming. We'll be ready to go live when I pull down the slide.
Okay, so we're at 9:58. And you'll tell me, Michelle, when it's 10.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And it's 10.
We're good.
Good morning. And I call to order the Tuesday, January 5th, 2021 Kansas Corporation Commission business meeting to order. Happy New Year to everyone. I'm Susan Duffy, serving as chair of the Kansas Corporation Commission, and I'm joined by my two colleagues, Commissioner Dwight Keene and Commissioner Andrew French. On today's agenda, we have 22 consent items and 3 noticed items. Commissioners, you've had the opportunity to review the consent agenda. Are there any questions or comments? I'll be starting with Commissioner Keene. And Commissioner Keene, I believe you are muted.
My apologies. No questions or comments from me. Thank you.
And Commissioner French.
No questions. I'd move approval of the consent agenda.
Second.
There is a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
And aye. The motion passes. The consent agenda is adopted. On our noticed items, our first item is docket number 16-GIMT-511-GIT in the matter of an investigation to address CenturyLink's CAF, CAF2, and KUSF support. This is an order on staff's report and recommendation, and our presenter today is Mr. Brian Fedotin. Good morning, Mr. Fedotin.
Good morning. Good morning, Chair Duffy. Good morning, Commissioners. On November 23rd, 2020, Commission staff filed a report and recommendation regarding CenturyLink's true-up for its annual KUSF support. In its report and recommendation, the staff recommended 5 things. First, to adopt CenturyLink's $47,235 in CAF2 support true-up and a corresponding reduction in their KUSF annual support. Second, to adopt an annual $29,803 KUSF true-up reduction, resulting in CenturyLink receiving $8,363. Let me start. I'm sorry, it's haven't had coffee yet. And receiving $8,363,000 $363,610 of KUSF support for KUSF year 23, authorizing a total reduction in year 23 support of $73,039 in KUSF to CenturyLink. And I'll get to the other two recommendations in a moment, but CenturyLink did not oppose any of those or object any of those recommendations. CenturyLink did dispute the next two recommendations. One, which was determining that the wire center and zone where a household is located should be used for KUSF support purposes, and that CenturyLink should report household addresses using USPS database and household locations using the 911 geocoder. Staff noted that CenturyLink's objection never voiced why it disagreed with the recommendation to use wire center and the zone where household is located for KUSF support. And but staff recognized CenturyLink's argument that there are times where both the USPS database and 911 geocoder household locations may not identify the location of a household. Therefore, staff clarified its recommendation to state that UPS database should be the first step to verify household addresses, and likewise, the 911 geocoder should be the first step in verifying household locations. If those initial steps are unable to do the job, CenturyLink can take further measures, including collaborating with staff. Based on that that revision, the commission adopts staff's. Well, I'm sorry. The commission adopts the first three recommendations because they're unopposed, and those are recommended with one modification, and that's due to CenturyLink's November 2020 data being due December 15th, and the commission modifies the recovery period for the months of December 2020 through February 2021, and therefore the monthly reduction to CenturyLink support is $25,680, resulting in the company receiving $648,202 a month. And as I started to discuss, since CenturyLink did not provide any explanation for why using the wire center and end zone for where a household is located for KUSF support purposes, why that would be problematic, the commission has no reason to reject staff's recommendation, and therefore it adopts the recommendation to use wire center and the zone where a household is located for KUSF support services. And based on staff's clarification about using USPS database and 911 geocoder as only the first step to verify, it appears that there's no longer a dispute over how to verify household addresses and locations. Therefore, the commission adopts staff's clarified recommendation. With that, I'm available for any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Fedotin. Are there questions of the commissioners? And Commissioner French, I'll start with you.
No questions. Thank you, Brian.
And Commissioner Keen.
None from me either. I would move approval of the order.
Second.
There is a motion and a second to approve the order. All those in favor, please vote aye.
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 Aye. The motion passes. The docket is approved. Our next item is docket number 18 KPPE 343 COC in the matter of the application of Kansas Power Pool for a certificate of convenience and authority to transact the business of an electric public utility in the state of Kansas for transmission rights only to cross service territory of Southern Pioneer Electric Company and Nenaska Rural Electric Company. This is an order on KPP's motion to approve an alternate route. And our presenter today is Mr. Brian Fedotin. Again.
Yes, thank you. On November 1st, 2018, over the objection of Mid-Kansas and Southern Pioneer, the Commission issued an order granting transmission rights only certificate of convenience and authority to Kansas Power Pool. On October 13th, 2020, Kansas Power Pool, or KPP, filed a motion to reopen and seek an amended order granting transmission rights only certificate of convenience and authority for an alternate route for its previously approved transmission line. They explained that while they were working to obtain easements from landowners, it became apparent that there was a better alternate route for the line that may be preferable to the previously approved line. On December 1st, staff filed a report and recommendation supporting the route modification, explaining that after reviewing the proposed route would result in less encumbrance to the landscape than the already approved one. Staff also notes that none of the interveners opposed the alternative route and therefore recommended the Commission approve the proposed alternative route. On December 7th, KPP, Southern Pioneer, staff, Curb, and Sunflower filed a joint motion to submit the matter on the record in bypassing a hearing. This order finds that based on the undisputed evidence that the proposed alternative route would result in less encumbrance to the landscape than the approved route, the Commission approves the motion to amend and approves the alternate route for the transmission line. With that, I'm open for questions.
Thank you, Mr. Fedotin. Are there questions? Commissioner Keen.
No questions. I would offer this comment. This is an interesting docket, and I think that what this order today does is it brings to fruition what is really an effort to bring adequate service to the customers in this Kingman area. And I think I'm glad to see that the matter at the stage it's evolved to at this point was amicably resolved, and we can move forward and provide adequate service to the. Thank you.
Thank you. And Commissioner French.
Yeah, I'd also have a comment that I think this is a positive docket in the sense that, I think the utilities should be flexible with folks when they do find that there's a better route and perhaps less encumbering on the landscape. And so, I applaud the efforts of everybody involved here to reach a resolution and find a better way. So no further comments, but I'd move approval of the order.
Second.
There is a motion and a second to approve the order. All those in favor, please vote aye.
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 Aye. The motion passes. The docket is adopted. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next item is docket number 20CONS 3182 CPN in the matter of the failure of Viva International Inc. to comply with KAR 82-3-603 at the Wright Lease in Lynn County, Kansas, and docket number 20CONS 3255 CPEN in the matter of the failure of Viva International Inc. to comply with KSA 55-164 and KAR 82-3120 at the Campbell, Carlson, and Gillian Simpson leases in Wilson and Sedgwick County, Kansas. This is a final order, and our presenter today is Mr. Jonathan Myers. Good morning, Mr. Myers.
Good morning, Commissioner. Before you is an order affirming the underlying penalty orders in these matters. I recommend approval of the order, and I am available for questions.
Thank you, Mr. Myers, and I will start with Commissioner French. Are there questions of Mr. Myers?
No questions. Thank you.
And Commissioner Keen?
Yes, Madam Chair. I would have no questions, but I would offer this brief comment. I want to commend John Myers for his efforts throughout this proceeding, not only from the evidentiary phase when he did a job of overseeing those processes. It was we were new to Zoom at that time. We went through a learning curve there, and it was really quite helpful. This follows all the way through to these orders. I think that the orders that we have before us here are very well drafted. They're very well reasoned. And to that, John, I would blame you. So I commend you for that very much. Thank you. With having said that, I would move the approval of the orders.
Second.
There is a motion and a second to approve the orders. All those in favor, please vote aye.
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 Aye. The motion passes. The orders 20 CONS 3182 CPEN and 20 CONS 3255 CPEN are adopted. Thank you. This appears to be the end of our agenda. Commissioners, are there any other items that you have to take up? And I will start with Commissioner French.
None for me. Thank you.
And Commissioner Keen.
None for me either. I would move we adjourn.
Second.
There is a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor, please vote aye.
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 Aye. The motion passes. We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Stay well.